Hi, this is Evan Hutcheson with Evan Hutcheson CPA LLC, and I want to show you one of the most efficient ways to do bookkeeping for your construction company. And I'm going to gear this video towards small construction companies. I can do another one for larger, but for now I just want to give you a great idea of what you need to do to get your bookkeeping underway. But depending on your business, there might need to be a few changes that you'll have to make. I'm just showing you the bare bones. But if you can grasp this concept, which is very easy, then you can add things to it, which will be simple as well. So if you tell me, or you tell your CPA or your bookkeeper what exactly you want out of your bookkeeping, then we should be able to alter this according to your desires. I'm a CPA that works a lot with construction companies. I do bookkeeping, tax work, workers' comp audits, financial statements, and so forth. But what I enjoy the most is the bookkeeping, because I just like to, a lot of construction companies, when I look at their books, it's a complete mess, and I just like to clean them up, show them how it works, show them the best way to go about doing it, have them understand the statements that they're looking at, and I feel like they get a whole lot out of that. And I've come up with, through trial and error, just the best, most efficient way to come up with understandable statements at an affordable rate. So this can be done fairly quickly by a competent CPA. And me, I have a bookkeeper that I use a lot, so I'm able to charge very affordable rates. I just review their work all the way through, but I can do that fairly quickly, and we can charge great rates to you if you're interested. But this is kind of, I'm going to run through it real quick because I know it's, no one wants to watch a 30-minute long video. Here is ABC Company LLC. This is the profit and loss statement. We're showing $1 million in income, cost of goods sold right here of, what is it, about $730,000, gross profit of $360,000, operating expenses of about $60,000, so you're looking at $300,000 for net income. So I'm just showing you the general idea of the company we're looking at right now. Now, what I have these companies do is, depending on how often they want their books updated, whether it's daily, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, I'll have them export out of the bank statement and out of their credit card statements the transactions. So they export these transactions, and it looks something like this when you do that from your online banking. This is what pops up. Then I'll have the construction company owner, or maybe their assistant, who knows what job and what expense each one of these transactions is. They'll need to fill out these 3 columns. Now, the reason I do this, I know there are a lot of small construction companies who don't want to spend a lot on bookkeeping. So this is geared towards those companies. Now, if you're not going to spend a lot on bookkeeping, one thing you're going to have to do is you're going to have to do a little bit of it yourself, and this is where you come in. Instead of your bookkeeper or your CPA figuring out what all these jobs are, that's what you're going to do right here, and then you're going to hand it off to the accountant, who is going to input it in QuickBooks and give you an accurate set of books back, and they can then explain everything to you, what everything means. So, what you need to do in order to put in a job in the code is have a job and code spreadsheet. So here are all the codes. This is a basic expense, foundation, permitting, insulation, framing, and so forth. It doesn't have to look exactly like this. This is for a small home builder, but I have other home builders who have completely different lists. They might have planning, excavation, concrete, brick materials. It's just everything's a little different, so it depends on how you want to organize it. That's totally up to you. You can use this as a template if you want. But so you're making all these codes and all these subcodes. So all these subcodes under permitting, all these subcodes under miscellaneous and under paint. And then you have job numbers. So each one of your jobs that you're working on is going to have a different job number. So you have all these job numbers, all these codes for the expenses, Then you have an overhead job number with all these general administrative expenses that aren't going to be billed towards a job. And you use all these codes as shorthand on your spreadsheets. So when you're pulling up your checking account, this is, we'll just say this is exterior paint material. It goes to job 03, so that might be 123 Main Street, and it goes to code 0680, which in this case would be exterior paint material. Now that's not really the case. I just made that up. If we look at 0680, it is mechanical, it's electrical, low voltage final. That's after the rough end. So you can do whatever you want here. You put these codes into the actual spreadsheet right here. Hand this off to me. I know your codes because I have a spreadsheet too, so I input them all in QuickBooks. And then you'll have this report. You'll have other reports. You can look at reports per job, which can be pretty useful. You can look at the actual versus estimate detail. If you do 123 Main Street, assuming you put in an estimate or a budget, here is your estimated cost column. Here is your actual cost, which numbers that I would put in. Here's the difference between the actual and the estimate, and so forth. This particular company doesn't have anything in this column because they don't invoice out based on their bills. They just take draws out as income. So that's why I'm saying every company or every business is different. We can always change a few things. But long story short, I'm kind of ranting on. Use this spreadsheet right here, all these codes, and then put them on the export that you take out of your credit card, your online credit card or your online bank statement, and you have something that your CPA or your bookkeeper or your accountant can work with, and they can do it really quick. I do it really quick. I review all the work. I charge a minimal fee per month, and then we're done. I mean, that's all there is to it. I then can go to, I work a lot with go-to meetings, so I'll pull up the QuickBooks, give them a phone call, have them get on the computer, and we can talk about what we see in QuickBooks. We probably do that at least once a quarter, sometimes once a month, sometimes once a quarter. And that way you will know exactly what's going on inside of your books, and if you have any questions after looking at it yourself, you can address those at that time, and we can look at them together. So, for this client, this is pretty small. This is 1 week's worth of work, and they're only purchasing a few transactions a day. But we'll charge on a monthly basis a few $100s, and that's pretty much it. And that takes care of everything. That takes care of all the books. You'll know exactly what's going on in your books because I love to talk about people's books and explain to them how it all works. So I think it's the best bang for your buck when it's construction company bookkeeping. I mean, that's all there is to it. I don't think there's a better way to do it for a small construction company. It works for me. I enjoy doing it. It works for you. It just works for everybody. So if you have any questions, feel free to email, call, whatever. I'll try to answer them. In the meantime, if you are interested in something like this with me, please let me know. I'd love to help out. And if you want to even tell your CPA or your bookkeeper about it and see if maybe they can work on it with you, I'm sure they wouldn't mind doing that either. So I hope you got something out of this, and we'll talk soon. Thanks a lot. Bye.